In this example, we will find the exact value of the following. Let's get started with the table of the exact values. For the sine of 0 degrees is 0 over 2 or square root 0 over 2. Basically, it is 0. For sine of 30 degrees is square root 1 over 2 or 1 over 2. 45 degrees, the sine of 45 degrees is square root 2 over 2. Sine of 60 degrees, square root 3 over 2. Sine of 90 degrees, square root 4 over 2, or 2 over 2, or just 1. For the cosine theta, is the reverse order of the sine theta. It's going to be 1, square root 3 over 2, square root 2 over 2, 1 over 2, and 0. For part A, we are going to find the exact values of 2 times cosine of pi over 6, and angle theta is pi over 6, and pi over 6 in the degree form, we can find by multiplying by 180 degrees divided by pi, which is 30 degrees. That is the same as 2 times cosine of 30 degrees. From the table, the cosine of 30 degrees is square root 3 over 2. The answer for this problem is square root 3. Part B, we are going to find 3 times the tangent of 5 pi over 6. 5 pi over 6 is our theta. And if you look at the theta in terms of the degree unit, so 5 pi over 6 multiplied by 180 degrees divided by pi, which is 6 and 180 reduced to be 30, so 150 degrees. 150 degrees is in quadrant number 2. Therefore, the reference angle in this quadrant is computed by the closest x-axis subtracted by the angle theta, which is 30 degrees. Therefore, we are going to find the 3 of the tangent value of 30 degrees. But recall in the second quadrant from the diagram all students take calculus. In the second quadrant here, only the sine and the cosecant will be positive. So the tangent remain negative in sign. From the table of the exact value, the tangent of 30 degrees, we can find it by using the sine of 30 degrees divided by cosine of 30 degrees. The sine of 30 degrees is 1 over 2 divided by the cosine of 30 degrees, which is 30 square root 3 over 2. Simplify to be negative 3 times 1 over square root 3, or negative 3 over square root 3, which is negative square root 3. Next one, we are going to find the exact value of 2 times secant of 7 pi over 3. The angle theta is 7 pi over 3. Convert to the degree angle, which is multiplied by 180 degrees divided by pi. Pi and pi reduce. 3 goes to 180 60 times. This one is 420 degrees. An angle 420 degrees is more than one revolution. So let's go further another 60 degrees. So it's located in the first quadrant. That means the reference angle is 60 degrees, which is a different of 420 and 360 degrees. That means we are going to find 2 times the secant of 60 degrees. And in the first quadrant, all angles are positive, all trig values of the angle will be positive, and the theta is the same as the reference angle. So 2 times secant of 7 pi over 3 is the same as 2 times the secant of 60 degrees. And the secant is the reciprocal of the cosine of 60 degrees. Cosine of 60 degrees from the table of the exact value is 1 over 2. Simplify the numbers to be 4. In this example, we are going to evaluate the following values. Part A, 5 times sine of 3x plus pi, where x equals pi over 12. Replace x with the pi over 12. So 5 times sine of 3 times 5 pi over 12 plus pi. 3 and 12 reduce. This becomes 5 times sine of 5 pi over 4 plus pi. And then simplify 5 pi over 4 plus pi with the common denominator 4. So 5 pi plus 4 pi. That gives us 5 times sine of 9 pi over 4. And 9 pi over 4, if we don't want to convert into the degree, so you can look at the unit circle as at the 0 degree is 0 radian, 90 degrees as a pi radian, pi over 2 radian, 180 degrees is the same as pi, 270 degrees as 3 pi over 2, and 0 degree or the 360 degrees is the same as 2 pi. For 9 pi over 4, it's a little bit more than 2 pi. So this one is the same as 8 pi over 4 plus pi over 4. Therefore, the reference angle is pi over 4. So we look for the value of 5 times sine of pi over 4. And from the table of the exact value, the sine of pi over 4 is square root 2 over 2. Therefore, we get the value 5 times square root 2 over 2, or 5 square root 2 over 2 as a result. The next one, we're going to evaluate 2 minus 3 over 4 times cosine of 2x minus pi when x equals pi over 6. Replace the x with the pi over 6. And then simplify. This will give us pi over 3 minus pi, which is negative 2 pi over 3. So we have 2 minus 3 over 4 times cosine of negative 2 pi over 3. From the xy plane, this is a negative angle. We go clockwise. This is a 0 radian. If you go clockwise, the 3 pi over 2 or the 270 degrees, if you go clockwise, that becomes negative pi over 2. And the 180 degrees of pi becomes negative pi. The negative 2 pi over 3 is beyond negative pi over 2 and terminates in the third quadrant. Therefore, the reference angle or the theta hat is difference of the closest x-axis and the terminal side, which is pi over 3. So the reference angle is pi over 3. And the cosine in the third quadrant is negative. The negative side here in the from the third quadrant that the terminal side is located. And then replace the angle with the reference angle, which is pi over 3. And pi over 3 is the same as 60 degrees. And you can convert it quickly on the side here. which is 60 degrees, and use the table of the exact value to find the numbers for the cosine of 60 degrees. Cosine 60 degrees, from what we did earlier in the exact table value, is 1/2. And next, we clean up the numbers by distribute multiply -3/4 to -1/2 becomes like 2 plus sine 3/8, or 16 plus 3 divided by 8, or we get 19/8 as the result.